Hi everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to solve the problem set and explain their solution for second week in which we explain and discuss project analysis. If you remember what was the learning objectives of project analysis chapter, we had 4 learning objectives. Well, this chapter was from Fundamentals of Corporate Finance 6th edition, written by Briley, Myers, and Marcus. So first problem. In a slow year, Deutsche Burgers will produce 2 million hamburgers at a total cost of 3.5 million. In a good year, it can produce 4 million hamburgers at a cost of 4.5 million. What are the fixed and variable costs of hamburgers production? This problem links to learning objective 2. So let's get started. So before move on to solve the problem, it is useful to remember a couple of terms. The first one is the fixed and variable cost. The second one is variable cost. The fixed cost, remember that costs that do not depend on the level of output. Variable cost, costs that change as the level of output changes. So let's try to focus on what was given. So we have two cases. In a slow year, we have 2 million burger production. This requires $3.5 million. In this case, we need to know that this is total cost. So in a good year, we have 4 million burger production at a cost of $4.5 million total cost. So what is total cost, by the way? So total cost is equals to total variable cost plus total fixed cost. So in a slow year, what was the total cost? Is 3.5 million. We don't know yet total fixed cost and total variable cost in a slow year, so let me leave here empty. So in a good year, we have again $4.5 million total cost. Again, we will find total variable cost and total fixed cost. So let's try to solve this problem. So what we have, in case of 2 million burger production, we need $3.5 million total cost. In case of 4 million, we need $4.5 million. So what is the differential here? That means if we increase the level of production by 2 million burger, we need an additional $1 million cost. So remember the definition of variable cost that change as level of output changes. So which means this is the change of level of output and this is the required amount of funds. So which means we can say that total variable cost is equals to $1 million when we produce 2 million burgers. Okay, So let's come here and check. In a slow year, we have 2 million burger production. So in case of 2 million burger production, we have $1 million total variable cost. So that means this is, sorry, in total variable is equals to $1 million. From this equation, we can easily find total fixed cost, which is 2.5 million. So remember, again, total fixed cost remain the same no matter how much quantity produced. So it is easily say that in in a good year case, total fixed cost is equal to 2.5 million. So from this equation, we can easily find that total variable cost is equal to 2 million. So let's check this out. Check this what is correct or not. So remember from here again, if you produce 2 million burgers, if you have $1 million variable cost in case of 2 million burger production, you need 2 million variable cost for producing 4 million burgers. So in this logic, that this 2 million is correct. Alright, I simplify the solution here, and let's move on to the second problem. So what is asked is, what is the average cost per burger when the firm produces 1 million hamburgers? This is A. This problem is linked to the previous one, so I'm not going to repeat it again. So what it says? It says this: what is average cost? Average cost per burger when the firm produces 1 million hamburgers. B. What is average cost when the firm produces 2 million hamburgers? C. Why is average cost lower than more burgers are produced? Before solving this problem, we need additional definitions. What is average cost, by the way? Average cost here means, in fact, unit cost. Unit cost means average cost. We have three definitions about unit cost. Since we have total cost, we have fixed cost, and we also have variable cost. So if you divide each of these terms by Q, number of quantity produced, you will find unit cost per total cost, fixed cost, and variable cost. Okay, so in a short form, here is total cost divided by Q, and this is total fixed cost total fixed cost divided by Q, and total variable cost divided by Q. So in case of 1 million burger production, remember fixed cost was 2.5 million, variable cost For 1 million production, we have $500,000 total variable cost. How to find this? Let me explain here. If you remember that for 2 million burger production, we need $1 million variable cost, total variable cost. So unit variable cost was $1 million divided by 2 million, which is equals to 50 cents per burger. So if you multiply unit variable cost by number of production, you will find total variable cost here, as you see. So if you sum this two, you will calculate total cost, which is equals to 3 million. And if you want to calculate now average or unit cost, this will be equals to total cost divided by number of production, which is 3 million divided by 1 million production, which is $3 per burger. So B, what if in case of 2 million hamburgers, what will happen to this? Okay, it is easy. In case of 2 million burger production, now your fixed cost remain the same, which is equals to 2.5 million. Your variable cost, if you remember, it was 1 million. No need to explain this. So total cost here is equals to 3.5 million. So average cost equals to total cost divided by number of quantity produced. So 3.5 million divided by 2 million production, which is equals to $1.75 per burger. So C asks you why we have $1.75 as an average cost, and compare this figure with the $3 and why is lower. So the answer is this. The fixed cost are spread across more burgers. Thus the average or unit, the average cost falls. Alright, let's move on. Second problem. Here you have a short solution. Now, in this problem, we are going to deal with the sensitivity analysis. And let's remember the definition of sensitivity analysis again. Analysis of the effects on project profitability of changes in sales, cost, and so on. So the most important feature of sensitivity analysis is that you change the value of one variable at a time, and see the effect, the impact of these changes on profitability. So let's look at the problem. A project currently generates sales of 10 million, variable cost equal to 50% of sales, and fixed cost of 2 million. The firm's tax rate is 35%. What are the effects on the following changes on after-tax profit and cash flow? So the first thing you need to remember is that there is no depreciation given. So in that case, whatever changes we are going to find on profits and cash flow will be the same. So how to solve it? A, sales increase from 10 to 11 million. B, variable cost increase to 65% of sales. So let's try to solve this problem. Okay. Let's prepare the income statement for this company. Sales equals to 10 million. Variable cost equals to 50% of sales. That's the base case, by the way. This is 5 million. Fixed cost is 2 million. There is no depreciation or any other expense, so this equals to earning before interest and tax, which is 3 million, less taxes at 35%, well, which means taxes over 3 million, 35% is equals to 1.5 million. Where this is coming from? This is, if you need to multiply by 3 times 0.35. So this is equals to, ladies and gentlemen, net income and 195. Since there is no depreciation, I have nothing to add back to net income. So which means in this case net income is also cash flow. So A, in case of A, you need to do this. Change sales figures because it says there is additional $1 million sale. So I will write here 11 million. Remember again, in case of sensitivity analysis, if you change one variable, you need to let the other variable remain the same. So variable cost here is 5 million. Sorry, not 5 million. It is 50% of sales, so this is 5.5 million. Fixed cost 2 million, and earning before interest and tax in this case will be 3.5 million. Taxes over 35% is equals to 1.225 million, and net income will be 275 million. So here the difference between these two will be equal to 0.325 million. This is what is asked. Well, that means the impact of additional 1 million sales on net income is $0.325 million. This is the answer. Well, instead of doing this, we have a shortcut solution. Well, in order, let me write here, I'm going to write direct solution. Well, if you remember that we have an equation for calculating cash flow. If you remember this, Or let me explain in a different way, in a more appropriate way here. In a logic, if we take the difference between revenue and expenses, this is changes by 1 million, revenue change by 1 million, and expenses change here, as you see, 0.5 million. So after tax profit increase by 0.5, this is the difference between these two, 0.5 million times 1 minus tax rate, which is equals to $325 million. So in each case we find the same result. I suggest you to solve such problem by this method. It is easy to see how to prepare an income statement or simple income statement. So one note is that since there is no depreciation, cash flow changes by the same amount, because here, as you see, this is also cash flow. Why? It is because depreciation here is 0. Okay, this is A, and let me solve this B part. B. Let me go directly. Sales remain the same, 10 million. Variable cost is changes to 6.5 million. Remember the problem again, 65% of sales. So 65% of 10 million is 6.5 million. Fixed cost is 2 million. So this equals to earning before interest and tax, which is 1.5 million. So less taxes, 35% of 1.5 million is equals to 0.525 million. So the result of this will be equal to net income, and this is 0.975 million. So if you remember, you need to compare this with the base case net income. It was 1.95 million, and its differential is 0.795 million dollars. That is the answer. Alright, let me move on. Another problem. This is a shortcut solution. So another problem here we have about the gain sensitivity analysis, but now we have more details. So Emperor's Clothes Fashion can invest 5 million in a new plant for producing invisible makeup. So initial investment, in this case, initial investment is 5 million. The plant has an expected life of 5 years. The expected sales are 6 million jars of makeup a year, fixed costs are 2 million a year, and variable costs are $1 per jar. The product will be priced at $2 per jar. The plant will be depreciated straight line over 5 years to a salvage value of 0. Opportunity cost of capital is 10%, tax is 40%. So base case, for the base case, calculate net present value. So let's do it. This is base case here. Start with sales. Sales was 6 million jars will be sold by $2 per jar, so this equals to 12 million. So variable cost will be 6 million jars by $1 will be 6 million in total. Fixed cost is 2 million here. Depreciation, we have depreciation. The depreciation is, now we have, what is the initial investment is 5 here, so depreciation will be initial here, initial investment divided by number of years, which is 5 divided by 5, and this equals to 1, and this depreciation. So this is earning before interest and tax. Result will be 9 million. And less taxes, what was the tax rate? Is 40%. So 40% of 9 million is 3.6 million, and this is going to be equals to net income. So result will be 5.4 million. I need to add back depreciation in order to calculate cash flow. Depreciation is 1 million, so cash flow will be 6.4 million. Now I'm ready to calculate net present value. Remember, it's equation minus initial investment from all discounted cash flow Alright, so let's plug these figures into this equation. The project was for 5 years, 5-year project. So at each year, all assumptions will be the same. So this is the cash flow for the next 5 years. Initial investment was 5 million. And now let me plug the figures here. So which means you need to discount 6.4 million by a factor of 10 or 12, 10% to 1. 6.4 million for the 5th year. So the result of this equation, well, you can also find the same result by annuity factors. So this present value annuity factors at 10% for 5 years. So the result of these two will be 5.6 million. This is the same. Okay. So if you are ready, now we can move on to B. In this case, since this is sensitivity analysis problem, it asks you to change variable cost from $1 to $1.2 per jar. So let's do it. This is B. So sales will be 6 times 2, 12 million. Variable cost will be 6 times 1.2, 7.2 million. Fixed cost will be 2 million, and your depreciation will be 1 million, and the result will be earning before interest and taxes, which is equals to 1.8 million minus taxes at a rate of 40%, which is 0.72 million, and this is going to be equal to net income. Net income will be 1.8 million at depreciation backed, which is 1 million. So this is going to be equal to cash flow, and this is 2.808 million. So we are ready to calculate net present value here. Let me write here. In three different ways you can find. So minus initial investment, which is 5 million. So you may either do discount 2.08 million at each year, one by one. That's the general solution. Okay, for the 5th year, or you may solve in a shortcut way. This is present value on the factors in an open formula, or you may use factor tables for present value on the factors at 10% for 5 years. So the result of these three is equals to 2.9 million. Okay. So this is B, and let's turn back here. At C, we are going to find 1.5 million. But before moving on, I have a shortcut solution for this. Now we need to focus on cash flow. So we have a shortcut solution for cash flow. So here we are going to write 1 minus tax rate times revenue minus expenses plus tax rate times depreciation. So let's see what is correct or not. 1 minus tax rate is 0.6. So revenue minus expenses. From this revenue minus expenses, you can find that 12 million is revenue. Expenses are this. Expenses. So this is excluding depreciation, of course, 9.2 plus tax rate is 40% times depreciation is 1 million, and the result of this will be 2.08, as you see here. Anyhow, it's up to you to use either method. I suggest you to use this one. but that's up to you. Okay, we are here C. Let's solve C. What is net present value if fixed costs turn out to be 1.5 million per year? Okay, this is C. So sales, I will change fixed cost and let the other variable remain the same. So sales was 12 million. Variable cost is 6 million. Fixed cost is 1.5 million. This is the variable I change. So depreciation is 1 million. So earning before interest and tax is 3.5 million in this case. Taxes over 40%. Here is 1.4 million. So net income will be 2.1 million. Add depreciation back, which is 1 million. And here cash flow will be 3.1 million. Let's check what is correct cash flow by using the equation. It was, remember that, 1 minus tax rate times revenue minus expenses plus tax rate times depreciation. Let's do it. 0.60. What was the revenue? This 12 million minus 7.5 million plus 40% times 1 million, and the result of this will be 3.1 million, as you see. So let's solve the problem. Net present value. So this equals to initial investment plus 3.1 million times present value annuity factors at 10% for 5 years, or minus 5 million, 3.1 times, I will write the open form of this equation. Sorry, this must be 0. This must be 0. Okay. This must be negative. The result of this will be 6.8 million. So let's turn back here. D. At what price per jar would project net present value equal to 0? Okay, D. Let's solve it. D. So here in this case, sales will be 6p. We don't know the price. Variable cost 6 times 1, 6 million. Fixed cost 2 million. Depreciation is 1 million. Your earning before interest and taxes will be 6p minus 9. Your taxes over 40% will be 6p minus 9 times 40%. So your net income will be 6p minus 9 minus 6p minus 9 times 40%. So in short, 6p minus 9 times 1 minus 40%. Okay, you need that depreciation back here, which is 1, and the result will be, this is cash flow, which is 6p minus 9. Let me take parentheses here. So the result of this is 60% plus 1. Okay, so let's find this cash flow from our equation, or we don't need to do that. Let's directly solve the net present value. Net present value will be equal to 0 at the break-even point. So minus initial investment plus, this is the cash flow, 6p minus 9 times 0.60 plus 1 times present value annuity factors at 10% for 5 years. So the result of this, well, instead of this one, you can also write this equation, 1.01 minus 1.01, 1.125. Okay, you may either calculate this or look at the factor tables. Result of this equation will be $1.59 per jar. Alright, okay, let's move on to the last problem. Here we have this problem. This problem is about break-even. There are two break-even definitions. Well, general definition is this: analysis of the level of sales at which the project breaks even. Well, here we have two definitions. First, accounting break-even. And the second one is the financial break-even. Yes. Financial break-even is where net present value equals to 0, and accounting break-even, you may either use this equation or simply saying where net income equals to 0. So let's look at the problem. Dime a dozen diamonds make a synthetic diamonds by treating carbon. Each diamond can be sold for $100. The material cost for a standard diamond is $40, which is variable cost. The fixed cost incurred in each year for factory upkeep and administrative expenses are $200,000. The machinery cost $1 million and is depreciated straight line over 10 years to establish value of 0. So what is the economic break-even level of sales in terms of number of diamond here? So if you apply this equation for A, economic break-even, so fixed cost including depreciation means here fixed cost and administrative expense, fixed cost here, fixed cost and depreciation. Well, first fixed cost, accounting break-even, fixed cost is $200,000. So what's depreciation? Well, depreciation, let me write here, is equals to 1 million divided by 10 years. So which is $100,000. Now, what is this additional profit from each additional dollars of sales? That means, ladies and gentlemen, now here variable cost per one diamond is $40. If you divide by sales, you will find 40% contribution of variable cost. In other words, additional profit from each additional dollars of sales will be 1 minus variable cost, which is 60%. So this is 60, and the result of this will be $500,000, which means in order to break even, we need 5,000 diamond. This is equals to 500,000 divided by $100. Okay, so B, financial break-even. For financial break-even, remember our cash flow equation. It was 1 minus tax rate times revenue minus expenses, excluding, of course, depreciation, plus tax rate times depreciation. So from this, what was 1 minus tax rate? Your tax rate is 35%, so this is 0.65. Your revenue, what's your revenue? You don't know the price, you don't know the quantity, but you know the price here. So let's denote Q as a number of diamonds sold. So revenue will be 100 Q minus your expenses. Your expenses here, of course, $200,000. This is fixed cost, and your variable cost will be 40 Q from here, 40% of variable cost minus your other expenses here. Here fixed cost is $200,000 plus tax rate is 35% times $100,000 depreciation. So this reduced to 39Q minus $95,000. So this is cash flow. So let's calculate net present value. So net present value will be equal to minus 1 million for 10 years. We are going to receive 39Q minus $95,000 times present value annuity factors at 12% for 10 years. Or you may also calculate this 39Q minus $95,000, 1 divided by 12.12 minus 1 divided by 0.12 times 1.12 to 10. So the result of this, and in order to calculate the break-even, this should be equal to 0. What is this? What happened? Sorry. No. What happened?